She had a strong vocal opinion about what was going on.
But I just think, okay, so my rationale behind that is that I don't vote by the color of your skin. I vote by your platform, what you got in place. And I feel like because I'm an educator and I was in the middle, was one of those people, I didn't think that Brian Kemp did what was best for those teachers that were in place. So it's like, I have to always remember, educators are looked at as secondhand. We don't be looked at like everybody should be. And it's like, the educators are in there. We're still, knowing you're sending your kids to school sick, still have to get in there and give that child that's under the age of 16 years old the best care that you can give, because I'm with them for 8 hours out the day. And I just don't think he was thinking about that. No, he just wasn't.
Well, in hindsight, how was it? How did it affect it? Was it a vast number of teachers dying from COVID?
Well, I mean, there were enough teachers that were sick from COVID.
Okay, so let's take it to another profession. What about those nurses?
Well, the nurses
who stayed there during the whole thing before it was ever a vaccination and took care of people.
Right, but nurses had more protective gear than the educators did.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did. I have friends that are there. They have full suits. They had everything.
I went down to them folk went. They didn't have no age masks like when they were hazard, man.
Yes, they did.
They had masks on.
When they first started, they had that N9.
And then
they were the only ones that had on before we had.
Okay, so and now let's think about this thing even deeper, right? With the COVID thing. Okay, the nurses had to go to work. Walmart, Kroger had to go to work.
Right.
So you think they wiped all them boxes down every gas pump that we use? Do y'all think that?
And they probably did, but at that point, that's my decision that I need to do. So when I used to go shopping and I would have stuff called in because I have to take care of me. I'm a severe asthmatic. So my system can't handle all the rest of that stuff. So when stuff came in my house, we set it at the door. It got wiped down with bleach. But you have to do some things on your own. The world not going to do everything for us.
Well, who all caught COVID during the
I probably caught it. I know I
had it every time it changed.
I almost took my family out.
I had it the first time when they didn't know what the name was.
Right,
when they couldn't give it a name, they was calling everything was like a respiratory
infection.
Then it was a Delta 8 one.
Yeah.
Then I called it again. And then I called the last one. It was in the middle. And then right around Christmas, it changed to Delta, to Omega. It was some. It changed again.
So you call all of them?
I was calling.
And
when I was in
COVID basically run train on you.
COVID did run the train on me. But the thing about it was, every time I called it, it was a little cold by then.
So
but the first time I got it, I thought I was gonna pass.
The first time I got it, it was
pretty bad.
No, when we called it took my whole family out. My mom was intubated. I almost lost my mama because of COVID.
I did lose my mom because of COVID.
Yeah, and so I know that it got worse, but what I found out too is that once the antibodies are put in you, your immune system builds up to it. That's why they were so big about giving you the boosters and everything else. So now when you get it, it's more of a, oh God, my body feel like the flu, I'm going to be okay.
Right.
Versus when literally I was down for 15 days.
Right,
like the first time it was
I know a lot
serious.
of people that like the recent heart attack rates.
Right.
You know, to me.
Who is vaccinated?
I'm not.
I'm not.
And see, the thing that with COVID, when it started and I was working at the school, I caught it at Ivy Prep. I was working at Ivy Prep, and that's when I caught it. It was called respiratory infection. But then it came back as COVID. So what I did was change my life. Right. And once I changed my life, every time I got sick again, it didn't last that long.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And what had happened. Yeah.
A lot of things that I think with America, we want, you know what I mean? I get it. Like, I can't force my way of life onto you.
Right.
But certainly you can't force your way of life onto me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when I say that because a lot of people don't want to look at the bottom line. High blood pressure, diabetes, on health. Right. You know what I mean? We want to take the shot and put a mask on and still eat what we want to eat.
Right.
And that's not fair to me to have to be stuck in the house because you choose to do what you want to do.
Okay, I get it.
You get what I'm saying? See, during
I didn't even think about it like that.
During COVID, we gave free yoga at at Old Fourth Ward Park to help people get in what's called. I paid a yoga instructor, and whoever walked up and had a mat or whatever they want. You came, right?
Yeah, I came to the yoga place.
So that's what we did for the whole summer. Like it's we got to combat stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We can't keep on putting band-aids over the stab wound and then, you know what I mean, getting mad because it's bleeding out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we never sold it up.
Right.
So
I
we
do
gotta
believe it's just like what you said. When I found out about it, well, I'm just an herbalist type of person anyway. So anything, I'm not going to the doctor for everything. And if I do, and they tell me, okay, Kizzy, because they tried to put me on high blood pressure medicine. And she called it in and everything, and she was like, not that it was just extremely high, it was just elevated. Mm-hmm. And so she was like, I'm gonna call you. I said, well, you can call it in. I'm not taking it. I'm not going to get it filled. I'm just not gonna do it. And I've never done. It's been 3 years ago.
And so how's your blood pressure now?
It is perfectly fine. So what did I do when she told me that? I started taking my sea moss even the more. I lost some weight because I felt like now that I see that I lost 20 pounds, my blood pressure is good. I started taking like supplements and stuff. Just started working. Now I work out 4 to 5 days a week and doing stuff that I like, that I know is going to keep my mind and keep me wanting to go out. I just did some adjustments. So now when I go, it checks out. But it's just like you said, it's like you want to, but the person have to want to do that.
Yeah.
Like, cause it's work. Now to me, it's simple because it's like, do I want to live? Do I want to die? That's just how I think of it.
And that's the bottom line.
When shit like that come to me, I think of how long I want to be here, because dying is inevitable. It's going to happen. But how long do I want? I want to stay as long as I can.
Correct.
And I want to be as healthy as I can be, not just for myself, for my kids, for my grandkids. When I had them, I could get around. When I want to travel and stuff, I don't want to have to be, you know what I'm saying? So I do it I tell people all the time, I work out and I eat right. I'm a pescatarian. Just change it for me because I just want to be as healthy as I can be. Now, the side effect is I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to look good, skin going to look good and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'm doing this not for no man, not for this, not for that. I'm doing this because I want to live.
You want to live.
I want to live. And that's how serious it is to me.
Do we understand that doctors are practicing physicians?
Right.
So did COVID kill people, or did the stuff that they were trying kill people?
No, I really
See,
don't
that's the catch-22.
Well, that's why I
know I did. I did what I had to do. So, in me making the decision to take the vaccine was not only for me, it was also for the protection of my mother.
Right.
So, not all that I couldn't fight it off. I know what my immune system can do. And I did what you did. Like, in the last, 6 months, I've lost 38 pounds.
Yeah, and you
I
look
did
good.
38 pounds. Well, thank you.
She showed us the pictures.
Yeah.
Yes.
I lost 38 pounds. Hey, shout out Dr. Joe. So I did 38 pounds. I mean, I've changed my way of life.
Yeah.
Like, I'm drinking half my body weight in water every day.
Come on now.
I haven't been working out like I need to.
It'll
But
get that.
I'm going to do it.
It's just steps.
It's
You
a
have to
process.
take- Exactly.
But I do it all because just like you said, right after that, they took me off of blood pressure medicine. I was on an everyday prednisone.
Wow.
They took me off prednisone. So the
Wow.
only thing I'm taking now is for my asthma.
Right.
And until I get to that
Yeah.
point, well, I mean,
Have you ever heard of
asthma.
mullein leaves?
No, I haven't.
Mullein leaves, it
Yeah.
clears the mucus out your lungs.
See, I
Yeah.
I had asthma all my life.
Yeah,
I played
mullein
football,
leaf is good.
asthma, everything, smoke. You know what I mean?
It's very good.
yeah, mullein cleans your it cleans your lungs. It has a fur on it.
Yeah.
It has a fur on it, and it'll what you call it, man.
You can
So,
make it as a tea.
Do you drink milk?
No.
You don't drink no milk?
If I drink
Dairy?
milk, I drink almond. Very little because like now it's the winter season, I'll feel it.
You
It'll
stop
just start.
Yeah.
And anytime mucus settles in on my chest, that's it.
Yeah.
This knock on wood, Lord, bless the
you
Lord.
You good.
I have not been in the hospital this year. Literally, during this time frame, I would be in the hospital anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks. Like,
Really?
Oh, wow.
oh yeah, we're talking about go in, and because I'm an asthmatic, and I don't say this to everybody to do it, but I'm an asthmatic, and so when you're an asthmatic, you're always in the back of your mind thinking, am I going to die and not being able to breathe?
Right.
And so you try to get everything done. So my family fusses at me because I'm always go. because I never know if my doctor's going to put me in the hospital.
Right.
So I need to get it all done now.
Right.
So by the time I get there, everything's off. Oxygen levels off. Can't move air. Can't do this. Hook up to all this kind of stuff. And be like, oh, so now what to do?
Right.
Because literally, they're going to hold me for like 3 weeks.
Wow. Until they get everything back.
Until they get everything back to its
Well,
norm.
I think what we have to learn as entrepreneurs and parents and what you call it, like everything's going to be done in time.
Right.
In his time.
Right.
Not our time.
Oh, yeah.
But his time. You know, because I get into that, what's called like, sometimes I get down on myself. I be like, damn, you know, all my people done did this or did that. I ain't did that yet. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? It's in due time.
Oh, yeah.
You
Right.
know, I had never been to Vegas. I ended up going to Vegas. I had me a good time. You know, because it was something that I wanted to do.
Right.
But I never had the opportunity to do it. But it was his time or when I would be able to do it.
Right. And I tell people too, I coach people and I speak to this through my tribe that you should do daily. And that's to affirm yourself and meditate. You got to do it. That takes your mind off of what I think I'm supposed to be doing, and it tells yourself and your brain, this is what I'm going to do. You get what I'm saying? So you're reversing, you're unlearning of your brain tries to protect. It's designed to protect you.
Amen.
You know what I mean? So sometimes it's so into its job that it makes you procrastinate. It makes you not.
It makes you do what?
Procrastinate.
I thought you said procrastinate.
I was at procrastinate.
She don't got pregnant. I still got procrastinate pregnant. Procrastinate.
You said it right.
I was going to tell you later.
But I said procrastinate. I just broke it down. I was like, procrastinate. It stops you. I mean, but your brain is so powerful. It'll keep you from starting businesses. I'm talking about anything that your body is, that it feels like you're going to be afraid of. It's starting to tell you, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do it. And you have to, so that's why I tell people, you have to affirm yourself because words are so powerful. It manifests things. And what it does, it teaches your brain what it's scared, but it's saying, no, we don't have to be scared. We can do this. So you start telling your brain so powerful. When you tell it a thing and you are the commander of your brain, it starts to listen to you. You get what I'm saying? And so once you get to saying that thing all the time, now it's programmed. Now it's not in your subconscious. It's now your conscious. So now it's gonna start acting out.
I started listening to Abraham Hicks, and she helped change my life too.
Yeah.
The talking to the subconscious.
Yeah, that's important.
Sometimes we go to sleep with that TV on.
What?
And we listen
to
I'm here all night long.
Yes, I thought about that today.
Try going to sleep to like Abraham Hicks or some hypnosis.
Or the hertz. 646.
646.
You know those hertz, and they got different hertz. Different because your energy, your body is energy. So when it hears certain tunes, it knows it's in the message. It's almost like how whales talk in the oceans through signals. So your body is energized. So the hertz are coming through as energy. And so when you listen to that, it's telling your body, it's almost like a secret language that the music and your body know. And it's telling your body it needs to heal. It focus on this or calm down or peace or whatever. It's great.
Speaking of healing, man, let's talk about Cabo, the young lady that was murdered in Cabo.
Oh man.
This has just been
and it's gotta be a lot of stuff
sad.
that needs to take place where that family can get some healing.
Yeah, I'm talking about. Did you see her dad interview?
I didn't see. I seen it, but I didn't see. I didn't listen. I just looked at it, because I was kind of like over. I get tired.
Yeah,
I get tired
because they have been hammering it.
Not even hammering that.
Just all of it.
Just
everything.
Everything is
so
back to back to back. We can't focus on one thing because time we focus on one thing, something else happened. And this happened with our own people, man.
Right.
With our own people, like. What kind of energy did them people have?
Right. You know what? I honestly believe they did not mean to kill her.
Yeah.
I believe that they were going to jump her, maybe fight. Maybe the dude who did it was going to fight her and did.
It just got
and then if you look at the video, how he threw her and they said that she died from a head trauma and her spine.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at that video, he smit her through her, hit her whole back. All of this was on the corner of that bed. When her head went down on the video, you can see it. Her head went down like this, never came back up.
Right.
It was just like this. She was just like this. I almost want to say that they gave her some drugs to kind of
loosen her up.
Yeah,
But,
like
no,
she was
no.
on something.
No matter if you meant to do it, that's.
I don't think it's right. Let me
Well,
say that. I'm not
yeah.
saying that it's right. You shouldn't even put your hands on in front of BB.
Yeah.
But what
Front of
I'm
BB,
saying,
yeah.
I don't think they intention was like, I'm finna kill her. Hey,
No, it probably
I
don't
think they
be.
was just
But
like,
what we got to understand as people is that we don't determine how a fight ends up.
you're right.
Yeah.
You're
You know what I mean?
absolutely
And-
right.
and-
You're
and
absolutely
all
right.
all the time.
You're absolutely
I was just
right.
looking
the
at
time.
we were just looking at a story where a dude had got into it with some old folks. He walking up the street, he just randomly punched this guy. The guy fell down and died.
Wow.
See what I'm saying?
So he gotta do 7 years
Right.
for manslaughter.
And he probably punched him and he hit his head on the rock.
And that's what he hit his head on
You
the
get what I'm
ground.
saying?
That's what
And
happened.
But he was
then-
out cold and he hit his head on the ground. But those are the consequences
Right.
of our action. Everything has a consequence.
You're so right about it.
You know what I mean? Whether we get caught for it, you know what I mean, now,
Mm-hmm.
or the karma punishes us for it later.
Right.